do we want to play? You know, with the direwolf existing out in the world, kinda tempted to give this deck a try. Let's use the same totems as before, and this time we will hunt out the direwolf, see if we can't get some bone synergy going. Because I'm assuming that direwolf will continue to put out the bones. Mantis is very good to start with here. Magpie is also really nice for the search. And we're going to get to crunch it at the next node. Right here. Not going to focus too hard on trying to grab the totems early on like I was last time. So who do we want to attack? Oh, well, no. Who do we want to be an easy summon that can scry our deck? I feel like we're always going to want to play Mantis. But see, the trouble... I want to put the scry on Warren, because I'm very likely to play that card. But then the Flight Sigil is kind of squandered, because it's never going to really do any damage. I think that's okay, because if we stick it next to an alpha, it can actually get some of that attack damage. And plus, there are fires along the way. If we get lucky, we can get a little damage upgrade on them. Okay, so this is an easy first turn. Mantis behind the rock. Excellent pace. That Raven doesn't bother me too much. Be able to knock it out in a turn or two. Don't like that, though. I wouldn't mind getting an alpha out. This Rat King is very nice. Let's bring Rat King out. We'll do a little bit of damage to help us keep pace. Not quite enough to summon our good old alpha yet. But I think that we've got this one in the bag. Because you've just lost all your momentum through that Raven. Well, a fat lot of good scry does us when we've drawn our last card. But that's okay. It's endgame of that round anyway. Now, there's one of our fires that we were looking for. If it is damage, we'll put it on Warren for sure, just to give it a little bit more usability. I want to be careful about getting too many bones. This, however, is exactly what I'm looking for. Direwolf gives us bones to work with, rather than taking them away. Now, we could use this for removal, but I think I prefer... maybe giving Rat King a little bit more survivability? Either that or Mantis. I feel like there's better uses for Mantis. Let's give you a little bit more survivability here. You can actually take a hit at this point. So you've got a Raven Egg. Not too bad. Mantis will make short work of that. I just hope that you don't play anything in that lane. Well, it's fun while it lasted. I could get Rat King out there. That might be nice. I would have to use one of our Squirrel in Jar, though. I can see this balling out of control pretty quickly, so I'm going to try and get ahead of it. That's how we do it. we're going to lose that damage. But if we bring something out... block your damage here and claw back 2. So now we're trading effectively, as long as my squirrels survive. And the nice thing is, we're acquiring bones while this is all happening, which means next turn, Alpha can come out. So we put... Is Alpha worth it? I was gonna put it over in the lane here to both block damage and have the tree get buffed to do damage. But I don't think that's the play. I think the play is you put him over here and have the squirrel do the dirty work for you. So not only is the squirrel blocking now, it's actually whittling down that wolf. Just like that, the wolf is going to be out of the picture, and we're back to a slight tempo lead. And a dire wolf pup. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. See if we can't get some rares. I mean, frankly, I don't exactly want the gold pelt. Ooh. I like that. I like that a lot. You can just get a full buffing build at this point. We could also... Oh, we can't crunch it, though. As much as I like the Mantis, temptation is certainly there to crunch him. Now, how about this? What if we crunch Wolf Pup into Mantis, so that Mantis evolves into something else? And then, we just aim to get him more survivable. I think I might just skip totems altogether this run and aim for just improving the deck. So you're going to move around some. So if that's the case, I think we put our Mantis right over here, so you're strong enough by the time it rolls around. Hopefully, we can get a Warren out in time to make a difference. So just like that, I think we've helped ourselves out significantly. Oh, look, he's even got the little glowy thing on him. So he's still digging bones. We're going to block the new one and take out the old one. I like that a lot. So in the meantime, I think we get a Warren on the field. Search for our other Mantis. Do we put the Mantis out there? I don't see why not. Yeah, definitely. And while we're at it, we can even put a little rabbit out here too. That will start doing damage along with the rest. In fact, I think that might be enough to... Oh, takes you out this turn. But that's okay. I think we've got enough to win still. So we'll put an alpha right there, and suddenly we're in business. Plenty of overkill points to boot. Skipping all our totems this time, even though there's doubles up there. It was fun. That's a good strategy. In fact, if we... Well, we don't have any more Mantises that we can add on to, but if we did... Ooh... Interesting. I feel like our Rat King doesn't fit the deck anymore, and the only benefit that it has is having bones in it. So maybe get rid of that, and instead bring the Cuckoo out. And hope that we can use that as a bone generator, and decrease the overall cost of our deck. Despite our best efforts, we are going to walk away with a totem. I think we have a fair amount of wolves in our deck. That sense is greatly misguided. I'm seeing now we have 5 cards in our deck. And most of them are bugs. I'm realizing this might be a very tough fight with the boss. Because if we lose any of our cards, then very suddenly we find ourselves in a very difficult position. I think our best bet will be trying our very hardest, to knock out you two. With a Mantis, perhaps. So this is basically our deck. This is what we got. How do we play this? You're going to be pushing every round. Maybe Mantises on the far sides? And then squeeze everything else in between? Although, this Mantis will evolve and strike ahead too. Which is not ideal in this situation. So how do we course correct for that? Warren is basically a sacrifice in waiting. This is very tricky, actually. I think we have to put the evolving Mantis here. But it will get badly damaged as soon as the frog comes out. It'll wipe it without ever really getting to exercise its value. I mean, I'm like playing it a few rounds ahead here, and I'm not seeing us win this one. So here's how we start. Put non-evolving Mantis over here, because you will never hit that trap and you'll be safe. You'll chip away at that guy slowly. This will block this. Put Warren here to take a couple of hits at the very least. Oh, or we could use Cuckoo to totally block your path here. Oh, that's better. That's much, much better. And in the meantime, perhaps a rabbit here will knock out that trap. Okay. So just kidding. I played it ahead. We're going to be okay. I've looked into 700,000 possible futures. How many of them did we win? This one? I think. You know... Let's grab a scroll for now. We're pulling this ahead. Because all he's bringing in is a rabbit. That doesn't bother me at all. We've got the tempo here to win. Even if it's just by playing squirrels, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, that's the play. Just keep winning by very slow, steady measures. Oh. That's obnoxious. We don't have any traps to worry about anymore. So maybe what we do is we get our Mantis out on the field. Do we? How much are we going to do this turn? We're doing 1, 2. And we need to do 4. That's not going to happen. But with the pliers, though... Okay, I have a zany idea. Let's grab our Alpha, boost our Cuckoo. We're now putting out 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. That's enough to take it. Yes. That's how we do it. And then next turn, we get Big Mantis. Well, next turn, because I don't want to lose. Oh, right. I forgot the traps catch flyers. It's okay. This strategy still works. Our next goal is clear his board as much as we can. Now, Ringworm is pretty worthless. That doesn't scare me. And the way that we have our Mantis set up right now, Ringworm will never go away. So that's you two out of the equation. A skunk doesn't scare me too much. This frog moving stuff around, however, is a little bit obnoxious. So... I think we get rid of you two. Maybe the skink? Yes. Yeah, this is how we play it. Because our next order of business is to put Big Mantis here. He'll be able to knock out quite a lot. In the meantime, put a wolf cub out here too. Or even a skink. I think the wolf is going to be more valuable though. So you'll be able to punch through a little damage at least. And that's where we send it. See? There we go. Now his entire field is completely borked. Everything is evolved. Everything's strong now. Pretty sure we just send it away and win this round. Yes. With a ton of overkill. Well, not a ton, but I'm exaggerating for dramatic effect. Okay, good round. I started off, like, way overthinking it without even drawing a card. Glad I did, though. It was a good thought experiment. Ended up being quite manageable. So, we have a very thin deck. Don't have a lot of stuff that can be combined at this time. So this side lets us power up what we have and also gives us a few more cards to add to the system. I think that's the way we gotta go. Because the combined thing, that scares me. Also, I always snap pick the cat whenever I see it. It's just like one of my favorite cards in this game. It enables so much. Now, damage-wise, who do I want to do more damage? The Mantis God would be a very good choice. In fact, I don't know how you don't pick that. get it out early enough in a safe location, it just turns into basically a turn 2 win. Potential, at least. Now, I am seeing a mushroom up ahead, and I've got thoughts floating around of what would happen if we combined all of our lovely little Mantises together. Okay. Just put a cuckoo there. You know, I think I like that idea. We're going to block your lane and take it from there. Cat should be safe because Kingfisher is always going to attack over. Meanwhile, we can just keep on drawing until we get the good stuff. We're very defensible right now. There's our Mantis. And I'm pretty sure there's no downside to just playing you right here. Yep. Perfect. We'll be double-sided next turn. Hmm? You're gonna do 4 damage, you're gonna do 1. Well. That's game right there. Send it. And get some bees for the road. Okay, so the deck is very thin. It doesn't have a lot of flexibility built into it, but it is powerful. Much rather have another duplicate, but that's not happening. Instead, a skink's not bad. Now, do we have any option but to combine our Mantis? Nope. The bright side, it's gonna be pretty wild. This might be one of the strongest cards I've ever been able to construct. Look at this, the sigils don't even fit all over on it. It's got 4 different sigils. It can't be stopped. And we got it first turn. Wait. Well, it's a turn 1 win, so... yeah, you play it and say thank you for coming. Just like that. Wow. I mean, just play the whole hand and get a turn 1 win. No complaints there. Got something very strong, just not very survivable. So I think our next move is find something with survivability. Bad. But we don't really need sacrifices anymore. I like Mud Turtle. Turtle is a pretty solid pick. I have 1 item slot. I would much rather... we can get card removal. Is there anything we want to remove from our deck? Possibly a skink? I wouldn't mind putting a skink tail on the cat. That'd be kind of cool. Getting the auto summon on a turtle is also very nice, but I don't see any combination stations on this path. So in that case, who do we want to dump from our deck? Who is kind of just taking up space? To a certain extent, I feel like the alpha is. Because we've already got the side buff on Mantis. Not sure if I'm quite ready to get rid of you. So, you know, let's just grab a cheeky little free item. The shears. Simple, easy to understand. And I do see the combination station up there. It's very reassuring. Let's This rattler does not bother me. Are just aiming to get our lovely little, you know, Mantis out at some point. I feel like perhaps taking up this space is going to be good. Yeah, I stand by that. Or do I? Turtle can knock out your rattler. So let's just do that. Yeah, I think that's the play. Oh, and now you've got more people coming in. There we go. Once we get the Mantis, it's pretty much over with. Yes. And just send them away. Easy peasy. It's just about surviving long enough to get Mantis on the field. That's what I'm learning. If I commit to this path, I will get a pack rat in my deck, which I don't love, but we could combine him away immediately. I also don't like the idea of getting a totem. Okay. We'll grab the pack rat with the full intention of just crunching him right away. Damage species health. I feel like we got a lot of good damage dealers. Let's go with that. Yep, nailed it. So, know that we're going to be getting a pack rat. Do we want that to synergize with anything? Turtle with an egg is very meh. The digging plus spikes, however, I can get behind that combination. So really, our deck is getting a little bit too large now, and I'm going to be looking for opportunities to thin it further. Now, pack rat is not the end of the world, but I would like a 2/2. If we commit to holding on to alpha, we could start beefing him up with some more abilities. I don't think that's a bad idea. So let's get rid of pack rat. Or do we want to do it the flip side? Do we want to turn the pack rat into an area buffer? That's an interesting idea. Or we could put the pack rat's power on the cat, because we're always going to want to play it. I think I like that idea better. That way we're always getting items. Yeah, that's not so bad at all. Now, who do we have here? This is Angler, I believe. Nice blue aura of this fight. Now, block you pretty easy. In fact, that's going to be our first play. So you're blocked. Next, wouldn't mind having a Warren search out our Mantis. And then we sacrifice both to get our Mud Turtle out. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Let's grab our Mantis. And then we will Well, I mean, it's a turn 1 win if we do it right. So why not just do it that way, right? Yes. Do that. Then pass turn. Because that egg will get replaced with a bucket. So will that. But he's never going to survive long enough to make the difference. Especially... yeah, especially if we don't give him the opportunity to hit that one. That worked the way I want it to? I think so. Well, regardless. Just put a rabbit over here. Bonus damage. Okay. So this guy is going to knock out Mantis, but we don't need much to win. We only need 1 point. And I think we've got that 1 point easily. Just put you here, and suddenly we're in good shape. Even with a little bit of overkill. Okay. I like it. Now, what do we have? Getting a superpowered corpse maggot seems like a pretty good idea. It'll thin the deck a little bit while still keeping a very useful sigil around. Now, challenge I think is better than just the rando card. Stand the chance of getting something powerful at least. Now, which challenge do we want though? We don't have many healthful cards, so that's not going to play. And going for the damage one is risky, but I think it's the best one we've got. Just gotta hope that we draw one of our Mantises. Oh, yeah, nailed it. Wonderful. So our reward... I like this a lot. Having more sacrifice engine in the deck, very useful. Another pack rat, not as useful. That just means it's another one that we're going to have to cut. Do we have a place that we can cut? The pure cut right over there. We have to draw a card to get to it. Whereas this path could be some kind of combination or cut. I prefer it that way, personally. I'd rather do it that way and have a chance at a net gain rather than know that we're having a, break even. Now you are kind of annoying. Porcupine's pretty bad too. But we start with the Warren, which will allow us to at least find our Mantis early. And actually, if we play it now, we just win. So, we have 2 cards that can win us round 1. If we get either the Mantis right away or the Warren to search it out. Question is, can we do better? I feel like we got way too many sigils. We should be able to win this one. Yeah, there you go. We're never going to get the ant synergy working. But the Grow and Bone sigil? Not the end of the world. think I prefer this. Sigil-wise. I'm basically thinking ahead to which ones I can crunch together. So this is interesting. I could either make someone more survivable, or intentionally sacrifice one of these cards. I'm not sure which I prefer at this point. I kind of want to just dump a pack rat. Or maybe even an alpha. That's a pretty low value card that very rarely sees play. You know, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get rid of alpha. It's done its time. Just get rid of that guy. We're at this point, we're looking for excuses for removal. Now, we drew our Warren, which means I should not have to worry too much about doing the math here. With a Warren, we get our Mantis. With our Mantis, we get our win. So, don't overthink it. Just put him down, let it ride. Go. I think that's going to be the key, is don't overthink it. I don't think I have any pelts to trade. Thanks. Thanks for the money, I guess. Okay, so another fire. If we're feeling strong enough as it is, we could just, again, cut one of these cards. So who would be up next on the chopping block? Probably Skink. I don't think you have a whole lot of synergy that you can bring to the party. See, I'm getting the other thing is I'm getting a little bit of more data collection. I have never, ever, ever seen a card survive 2 improvements in Kaycee's mod. I have a sneaking suspicion that it just doesn't happen. Yep, easy turn 1 win. I love the rounds where they can't even put anything up for you. So I can either get a full totem plus card, or get a card, possible removal, and a combination. I think that's the play. So we know we're going to get a combo. Not great. So we can get a combo and a removal at this point. At this point, I'm kind of using the fireplaces as makeshift removal engines. Because there's nobody here that I want to, you know, boost the health of. I wouldn't mind the Mantis having more health, but I think the more valuable outcome is crunching up some of these guys. So do I get rid of Raven? I've got way too many backpack powers. I'm thinking I will combine Skunk with... Well, actually, I can't combine Skunk with anything. That's a good point, because the combiner is not going to allow me to pile on that many sigils. And if that's the case, I'll probably just end up squishing together Pack Rat and Mud Turtle. So in that case, do I really want Skunk in my deck at all? I think I do. It doesn't really bring enough to the party. Let's get rid of this guy. Oh! Well, okay, there's our first data point at least. Turns out you can survive 2 upgrades. Now, who do we crunch? I kind of like the idea of getting... I've been holding these corpse maggots on the off chance that I get a mushroom somewhere in the future. But as time goes on, that's looking less and less likely. So instead, let's crunch your ability to bring out a bigger guy without necessarily having to do the sacrifice. A raven seems like a good choice. That gives us pretty decent value. Now, this fight's going to be interesting because we can't just drop our Mantis and expect it to win the day. We need a little bit more than that, because at the midpoint, he's just going to crunch all our cards. Starts with a wolf, too. Yikes. I mean, on the flip side, we could sacrifice our Mantis and just advance the first round very quickly. It's not bad. Although I kind of like the idea of putting the cuckoo out there. Will that work? I think it might. As long as he doesn't play too many more cards. Let's try it. So cuckoo goes out. You get a broken egg there, you're going to just do damage. Let's see what happens. Assuming you don't play too many cards, I might just be able to, you know, overpower him. One tick at a time. That lane is going to get wolf, which I don't love. So as kind of a retaliation play, could put a squirrel here as a chump blocker, and then allow this train to kind of continue. Yeah. I think that's how we gotta have to do it. Raven's good, though. Will you survive this? 3 damage is what we need to take it to the next round. Interesting. The spikes are also very troublesome, considering they do a real number on our Mantis' ability to bust through anything. So here's how I think we do it. Need 3 to win. So maybe sacrifice both of these and just plop this down in front of the wolf. Oh, no, wait. I did that math wrong. We need more. We need one more. Uh-oh. Yeah, I did that math incorrectly. Oh, but you know what? There we go. Course correct. Now we're fine. Good save. Now you keep your cards, but I kind of also do. So here's how we're going to do it. Get this guy out first. But we put a cat down. If we put a cat down, it's going to take up our one safe lane for our Mantis. So I think we preserve this lane for the Mantis. I think we got to. Interesting. You're going to break that down. Things are going to get weird in a second. But I think we can survive it. So for starters, we'll put a little skunk down here. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. Now, turtle's pretty solid. This guy's gonna do 3 damage straight ahead. 2, 3. Not enough to win, but a good start. Won't break this. I can bust the wolf, though. So why don't we... Oh. Just kidding, we can't do that yet. Do I need to use an item? I think I do. Let's get rid of you. We will... We're gonna pass turn. It's a little less damage coming in. This guy is gonna do bifurcated damage, which is probably best case scenario. Now we can get Luck Turtle out. Which we got to put here. Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps just knock out these two and get rid of Wolf. I think this should do it. It's gonna, like, damage our entire field pretty severely, but it's enough to get us the win, just barely. Okay. Now, is my math correct? Was that boss number 3? Jeez, we got a lot of bones. Well... Cuckoo is really good for this final boss fight. It can do a lot of disruption for those rare cards and, you know, face cards that get put out. Question is, do I want to combine? Do I want to spend some of these... Oh, well, this is the pelt trader, so I wouldn't be able to spend anyway. Okay, good to know. So do we combine Cuckoo with something? Backrap, perhaps? We could just get an entire army of things that give us items. I don't mind that too much. Let's get rid of Packrat and add it to Cuckoo as a cheap option. There we go. Not bad. So that means at the beginning of this fight we can pretty much just dump our 2 bone jars, knowing that we're going to replenish everything pretty quickly. So he's got insects that evolve. So just don't give him a chance to play any insects. Easier said than done, likely, but, you know. So he starts with a Mantis God, which will evolve even further. Not my favorite. However... what can we do about that? Well, I mean, the easy play is, first of all, let's use both of these. We could just hook the Mole Man. We could hook the Mole Man, play our Mantis, and that would be it, basically, for the first round. And I'm tempted to do just that, because that's just a very strong first play. So let's start by hooking you. We'll put Smoke out, Mantis play, and go from there. That's the first round. Second round, he puts up some blockers, if I'm not mistaken. Trees, stumps. And we have these guys incoming. Now this should automatically advance the round again, because we're doing 3 in 2 free lanes. So, realistically, don't exactly see a reason why we shouldn't just allow that to continue. Perhaps. And work on building up what we will end up needing for our final round. Hourglass is very solid. Can grab... Who is kind of past its prime at this point. I'm just looking for things that are strong. Right now, Mud Turtle is our strongest. So let's put Mud Turtle out on the field. To start punching in some damage. We're basically setting up for Moon. Which is now. Do you have a trick up your sleeve? Moon! Will you dare attack the moon? You know, Leshy, I think I will dare to attack the moon. In fact, I'm gonna attack the moon a whole lot. A real lot. Now, Mantis God is out. Which means I need someone to do more damage for me. Goku is not what I had in mind. But... it's what we got. So, let us... Oh, you know what I should have done? While Mantis was still around? I really should have done the freeze. Well, better late than never. Now, we'll need to get ready for putting some blockers out. I think we've got him. Put a Cuckoo here, just for good measure. Skunk as a blocker. And that should do it. Yeah. Well played. Now we just finish him off. Take a couple of rounds. Just stand very still, Leshy. Alright. That was a good round. Hot damn. 10 misplays, not my best, not my worst. Overall, I thought that was very well played. We got a very strong deck. Entry 5. Data in beta state. For any quality concerns, please contact Kaminsky Data Storage. Of course. Perhaps our dear developer is still working on the deep lore. Hello, Mealworm. Sacrifice adds its stat values to the card it was sacrificed for. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. I can imagine that having a lot of potential for kind of mushing together with other cards. I like that a lot. Oh. And here we have a deck with Mantis God as the starter. So this is the spread the damage deck. And I'm assuming that these worms, I guess? Ringworms? I think those are ringworms. I'm assuming that they just are there to serve as a little bit of blockage. Okay. I like that. And finally, more and stronger opposing creatures in all battles. Look at that skull, he's so happy. Well, that seems bad. Maybe not as bad as all battles being totem battles, but still bad.